In the meantime, we'll call the Sawyer County Administrative Committee meeting to order. Ask clerk to call the roll, please.
Ron Kinsley.
Here.
Ron Buckholz.
Here.
Tom Duffy. John Righeimer.
Here.
Stacy Hessel. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item is a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Number 5, certification compliance open meeting laws.
This meeting was noticed to the media and the public as required by section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes.
Thank you. Number 6 is the meeting agenda. The agenda is set. Number 7 is public comment. Ms. Linda Zomer.
Linda Zilmer, Edgewater property owner. I attended last evening's Public Works Committee meeting, and there's been an agenda item that's been out there for a while that represents a longer-term issue, and that was opening more county highways as ATV, UTV road routes. And, you know, some towns supported their towns and the county highways open, and some didn't. And I know there are some towns that feel that the county didn't respect towns' wishes when the ordinance was changed and the county opened routes. But some of the routes within LCO do not, those were not opened. And I appreciate the efforts to try and keep the conversation with the tribe open. But what I'm concerned with is that there is not conversations happening here that are acknowledging the relationship between the county and LCO. So this morning I sent you all an email, and it is a request for Sawyer County to adopt a land acknowledgement. And in that email, I sent an example of the land acknowledgement and also some guidance on how to draft one. And maybe it's time for Sawyer County, especially with the relationship with the tribe, to consider that. The second item I wanted to address is a housing and a homelessness situation. Kind of a number of things came together at the same time. In zoning, there was a question that came before the zoning committee of whether park model RVs could be put in mobile home parks. And Wisconsin Watch just happened to have published a story on mobile home parks in Wisconsin, which I shared with you. Mobile home parks are still an option for housing. And I would hope that Sawyer County would consider looking into becoming an agent of the state with DSPS to inspect mobile home parks. And I would also hope that within the county, there would be some effort to look at homelessness, because I don't think what's being done right now to help those folks, as I read it being played out in the newspaper, is helping the problem. And so whether it's faith groups coming up with housing, which I know they're trying to do, or taking a look at mobile home parks, please include that as part of your housing options. Thank you.
Thank you. Is somebody online, Ms.? Number 8, consider approval of the previous month's minutes of September 11th.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Buckle, second by Mr. Duffy to approve as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 9, county clerk update.
So I've been reporting the same kind of stuff every time. If you want any changes to this, let me know. We sell the dog licenses. We're in the late fee period. That revenue comes into the county. Marriage licenses, plat books. I talked to Mike Markran about the fee schedule. He has the dog licenses under animal control, but by statute, that's a county clerk statute. So he is going to be moving that when you see the final draft of that. But it's not something that needs a vote because it's not changing it. It's just where it belongs. I went to 2 conferences, WCA down in Kalahari and the county clerks conference piggybacks on that one. So I was in a different set of rooms and didn't see anyone there, but 6 of us were there. I was in election meetings and legislative objectives for our lobbying group for Madison. And then I went to a WEC conference that was 100% elections, and that was their first annual conference. It was really well attended, really great. They had the US Post Office people there that they have a special elections team for the Postal Service that just started in 2022 that expedites election ballots and stuff like that. It was very interesting. And then Monday, I'm going to St. Cloud to Command Central to go behind the scenes to see where they make and program our Dominion voting machines and print our ballots. And I'd like to do that just as a due diligence. So because there are questions about the machines and I want to meet with their staff and see what they're doing. So I'll be doing that. The towns have now received letters from them regarding their offer to exchange the ICX machines, which are going to be decertified in 2027 by the executive order. And so they're offering a one-time chance to give them a $9,000 retail value ICE tabulator machine in exchange for that for a $400 delivery and training fee. Most of the towns are on board with that. That's up to the towns to go before their boards to figure that out. The good news about that for people that are concerned about election integrity is the ICE machines are all paper ballots, 100%. So if a town wanted to, they could hand count their ballots and not use the tabulator, which would be then bypassing any kind of fraud in the machine if that's what they were worried about. You still have to have a voting machine available that offers the handicapped voting option for people under the HAVA Act, which is federal, and the state also subscribes to that. So rumors that you don't need a voting machine under a certain population, that's partly true in the statute, but you still have to have the handicapped accessible equipment, which requires the machine to be programmed with the election. So there's not a way around that, really. And I just met with Dr. Frank and some other people in that group that believe that, and we had a good discussion on that, and they agreed that that's the correct assessment on Monday here. Otherwise, it's quiet. Laura's now working on 1099s. And then the next request report, it's kind of self-evident. They're still mostly for the sheriff. We had 24 new requests, 450 total. $776 spent this period by staff and 0 recovered. So it's always that. So Mike still is considering keeping next request as a way to streamline the request. Everyone has weighed in on whether we should do this or not. I still don't know where we are with this. This has to be renewed. If we're keeping it, then, and I think the assumption was no. If we don't keep it, we need to have another policy in place on how we manage records requests in the county. So that could be an admin committee issue. I mean, by statute, it's not the county clerk responsible for 300 staff members. I'm responsible for county board and my office only. So if we're adding that to me, that would have to be a policy that would get put in. So the next person knows too, because I think right now it's kind of been left in limbo. But however you want to do that, I'm fine with it. I told Mike I would defer to that, so to you guys and him. So that's where we are with that. I don't know if you have any questions about, see, these are the sheriff's department. Most of them were sheriff. Again.
Pardon? Probably should.
You want to add that?
Yeah.
In my opinion, have it with you clarity, if that's where you're getting clarity.
Well, I think Mike Colson wanted the answer to get back to the vendor previously already, so he may have already told them no, but it wouldn't matter to extend it if we're not getting rid of it. It's right now, it's part of our system. It's easy for me to use. I'm not objecting to that. What I didn't like was when they added on another fee to pay online. It was going to be an extra $1,400, and no one's paying. So we don't need to pay $1,400 for people to not choose to pay. So is there a way to keep the software and use the program as is without adding that option to pay? You can't do that by statute. So that's a discussion you could have. You want to revisit this? I can put it on. Okay.
Anybody else have any questions for him? Thanks for all you do, Liz. Number 10, Veteran Service Office Report. Mr. Elliott.
Hi, good morning. My offer extends, as Liz did. If you want to see something different or hear about something different, I will do my best to change that. For September, we had 517 phone calls, 902 letters, emails, and faxes, and 262 office visits. Workload perspective in 24, we had 524, 783, and 273 office visits respectively. The VA disability compensation and pension exams, we filed 130 disability claims or pension claims and received a retroactive payment so far of $461,405.25 for claims decided in the veteran's favor. Again, reference back to 24, we had filed 179 and had retro payment of a little over $348,000. The La Crosse Vet Center, we hosted 2 group and 5 individual counseling sessions last month. And as far as outreach, we continue with coffee and conversation with Gary and Nicole. We attended the LCO Health Fair and supported that, along with Walk for Tomorrow. And for social media recap, we had 211 followers, so we went up 7. Last month, 104 visits. That was down by 35%. 121 contact interactions, that went up 61%. And 6,576 views, that was a 103% increase. And that is attached at the bottom of the report. Our training is up to date. We have, our office will be closed October 20th through the 24th. We'll be attending a fall conference in Eau Claire for some state training. That'll be the last of it out of office for the year for training. We're getting ready for Veterans Day next month is coming up, and so we started on that. Also, 2 months ago, I want to say it was 2 months ago, I told you I expected in July, I expected our numbers from the federal government on how well we did as far as in 2024. They finally got that stuff compilated but I don't have that report put together yet. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. So next month I will provide that along with our monthly report for 2024. Short of that, we are very busy. So, yep. If you could issue us more hours in a day, it would probably be helpful. But we're really busy right now. So it's not we got claims that are not necessarily easy, and a few of them plugging up the channel. So it takes a lot of time and research. And
is your office in charge of the cemetery project?
No.
Who's in charge of that?
That is the city and the American Legion, Sons of the American Legion, that are working on the Greenwood Cemetery. Yep, they've been replacing them and straightening them, and so I think was it last.
Been 2 years.
Yeah, they've been going on. They've been doing fundraising for it to improve the cemetery in Greenwood. But yep. No, fine.
The plates, the memorial plates were sinking, and then the crosses were made out of cement and other of the different materials, not be so bad. That's what they're doing and straightening.
Yep, they've been working hard at it for quite a while. So. Any other questions?
Thank you for what you do over there.
Yep,
Much
yep, thank you.
appreciated.
Yeah, thank you and Nicole Gary for
Yep.
what you do.
Yep, thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Number 11, Information Technology Report. Mr. Coulson, is he virtual or not? I believe you supplied us with a report. Anybody have any questions on that? Hearing none, we'll move forward. Number 12, Human Resource Report. And I believe Rose is on vacation. She knew what day to take, so she took it. Anybody have any questions on her report? There's still an opening at the Hayward Highway Shop if you want to apply. You have to have a CDL though. Number 13, County Administrator Report. I'm sure you'll give us a full report. You got anything you want to put in there?
I just have Mike's report to share with you all.
Okay.
It's not in there. He'll be holding a department head meeting on October 15th. That's going to focus on strategic planning. Under economic development and marketing, he met with Steve Carrianen, and they had the opportunity to speak in Madison for the announcement of the Forestry Revitalization Act. He's also there today speaking. He just made a note here to reiterate that that legislation would be a huge investment in northern Wisconsin. He attended the Sawyer County LCO Economic Development Appreciation Mixer, said Adam gave some great updates, and there was also an update on the Forestry Revitalization Act. Under finance, the board will be given a second budget presentation at the October 16th budget hearing, and then a third look and approval will happen at the November 12th board meeting. Strategic planning, he's working with department heads to select appropriate areas of focus as prioritized at the September County Board of Supervisors meeting and cascade them down to the department level. They'll set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals within their selected areas. Some of that was rolled out already to department heads, so they have a heads up to start looking at that before a department head meeting. Under airport, the transfer of ownership from Hayward Aviation LLC to Derek Leslie has been completed. In regards to the master plan, no updates. Appears to be a longer time frame due to needed FFA information. Under connections, he attended the WCA annual convention in Wisconsin Dells. He met with Senator Mary Felskowski in Madison on the Forestry Revitalization Act announcement. And the last item on his report for you is in regards to the Public Safety Radio Network. GenCom is working on a final design and tower locations. The plan is coming together and will include redundancy over where available. They are now meeting weekly and are awaiting confirmation from LCO regarding the space on the WOJB tower.
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Randy. You did a
You're
good
welcome.
job.
Thank you.
Number 14, establish County Board of Supervisors per diem for meeting for 26 through 27.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to keep the county board supervisor's salary as it is at $50 per diem plus the mileage.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Buckles, second by Ms. Hessel to approve the per diem for 26, 27 as the same as it presently is. Any discussion? What's the mileage reimbursement rate?
56 cents.
What's the federal rate?
79.
Pardon?
I think the IRS rate right now is 79 cents. We do 80% of that, so 56 cents a mile.
Is it 50 or 25? The per diem?
$50 per meeting.
Okay.
110 is the max because there's the $15 if you go over 4 hours, not to exceed $110 a day.
I don't.
Every time I come up here.
Well, yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries and that goes to the full county board. So you get to vote on it again. You know, it's been that way for over 20 years, same per diem. Chris Mayberry used to say, "You sure that's enough to get people drawn in?" But Ron and I talked prior to the meeting, we decided it was.
See, do it for the money. no matter what.
Exactly, I agree with that 100%. Not here for the money, I don't think.
Anybody's,
Right, yeah.
number 15, Veterans Tribute. Letter A, environmental study, phase 2, discussion and possible action. Now, Mike talked to me and he felt like phase 2 is going to be soil boring because we don't know what's there. Has there been a gas station there prior? Answer is, okay. And also, it's, what did he tell me? $7,500 to do the soil bores. You want to know who's going to pay for that?
So I thought if we were moving forward, because we already received the 1,300 pages of phase 1. So you're saying that if we say no to phase 2, then we don't purchase the lot, or?
It was a matter of who's going to pay for it, as in, if we purchase, I'm trying to remember what he told me. If we purchase it and it goes through, we'll pay for it. If it does, if they find out the soil is contaminated, you wanted him to pay for it.
I think that makes sense. So
I'll make a motion to approve phase 2 with the purchase of the sale. However that's allocated, whether we're paying for it or whether the owner of but this has been going, I mean, the approval was done in May.
Yeah.
And so it would be nice to move it forward. That company took a long period of time, and I think that it just would be nice to, there's a lot of things that need to be done behind the scenes. So I make a motion, sorry for that long-winded, you don't have to write down that whole thing. Sorry about that. I make a motion to approve phase 2 with the purchase. So moving the purchase forward.
I'll second.
Will Smith? 75, no. With a soil bore, 3,500. We have a motion by Ms. Hessel, second by Mr. Righeimer to approve the phase 2 study. Spending of the money. Any other discussion?
I have a question. It's not clear. So it sounds to me like, is this a contingency issue?
no, my understanding, Mr. Markham was here, because from my understanding, it was phase 1 was done. Do we purchase the lot with the phase 1 completed, or do we move forward with phase 2? But if you're saying that phase 2 is just contingent on who pays for it, it still needs to be sorted through, but the lot needs to be purchased for, correct?
Well, I guess that's the question. Do we want to purchase the lot if the soil is contaminated? And what's the cost of the contamination going to be to clean up?
We don't know that.
Correct.
Right. That's the problem.
But that was across the street. Was it Union 76? Where the whole trick is. Yeah. So
We don't know whether it's. So
That's the reason. That's the reason for the soil bore.
what if it's back empty?
We'll deal with it then.
I'm still confused.
Okay, I'm doing good then.
Your purpose was to confuse me. That'll go in the paper. But I just think there has to be clarity, because we haven't seen the phase 1, that hasn't been given a summary of phase 1, so now we're approving phase 2, but why wasn't it that done with the phase 1? So
Yeah, okay.
Was there any advantage closing this thing before we have the boardings back, know whether there's contamination? At once, that's if there's contamination, it's gonna be a big deal with boys.
Let me answer Stacy's question first. I believe it was last month he came and he brought different stages to us that he felt that we need to take certain steps to get through the whole process. So this is part of the steps. Phase 2. Okay. And maybe that's what it was. But him and I have been talking about it. And this is what he wanted to do next, was the soil bore, to see if it's contaminated or not.
Isn't it unlikely that it be I mean, do we have any gas? I mean, there was no gas station there to my knowledge. I mean, unless the guy was dumping chemicals or something or mold. I mean, was there,
I know from experience in the Radisson area, there's a couple gas stations, but it's in a little swamp. So they all blend together anyway.
yeah.
With this up in Hayward, most of it's sand, I would think it wouldn't blend together. Is there? Let's do the soil bore and find out.
Which is. It's not matching. So just.
Okay, how about I ask for clarity at the county board meeting? You're welcome.
Can I ask then, is the question here, do you want to go ahead and pay $7,500 for soil boring? Is that the question?
That Mr. Markham was gonna work on whether we pay for it or the building pays for it. So that's a question that's up in the air. We're making the motion to approve phase 2, to move forward with phase 2. Who pays for it is not been answered yet. We paid for phase 1. If we have to pay for phase 2, then that's just less money that goes into the tribute. Because that's the fund that it'll come out of, is my guess, correct?
Not necessarily, but that's okay.
Well, we're still approving phase 2, that's my motion.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Letter B, to sign the material. I have no information to share, so I'm counting on Stacy to have some.
Yes, it's a moot point. So all of the work that can be done has to be stalled because we don't have the lot yet. So until we secure the lot, we can't move anything forward. So that's the discussion with no action.
Moving on to number 16. Board Appointment Committee updates. Anybody have anything they want to share? 17, correspondence reports, conferences, meetings. Yes.
So it's not really a conference, but I have a report. So we'll be dedicating the benches outside today for the fallen officers of Sawyer County, human and canine, at noon outside here. And no money, I just want to be on the record, no money was paid out by Sawyer County government. It was all done by donations. So kudos to the people that stepped up for that. And then there is a veterans ATV UTV ride put on by the Hayward Veterans Center on Saturday, November 1st. And all the money goes into helping construction on veteran homes. So.
Good.
We just have to stay on the Sawyer County trails.
Thank you. Mr. Buckles.
I just want to bring up one thing that on this Zoom virtual, per the county board of rules, states that people that are doing the virtual are supposed to have prior authorization from the clerk and the county board chair, which I do not believe that's happening at this time. And they are supposed to be in person if they're all possible. Unless you're sick or work related, then, but I think we should follow these board rules.
Are you talking about anybody that gets on Zoom or just the supervisors?
Just the supervisors.
Okay.
There you go. Anybody else have anything? Future agenda items? Veterans Tribute will be on next month. And if there's any changes in the budget, I'm sure we'll be talking about it.
At one time, we had discussed not putting the recordings, and can that go back on the agenda? Just,
We'll put that on the agenda.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So you mean not having them on YouTube? Okay, and the other thing was you wanted me to look at the next request, how we track record requests.
Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you for your valuable time.